Hey, what's up, guys? So let's talk about the changes in patch 1.09 and what they will actually mean for the competitive play of Valorant. So I'm just going to hop right into this. I'm on 1esports.gg right now looking at all the new changes. This is 100% legit and confirmed as far as I know. So this says Jett's Blade Stormfire has been damage fall off that begins at 12 meters, drops to 35 damage, which is the least amount of damage at max range. So I assume that this means at 12 meters is when it starts dropping from 50 damage, and then at 50 meters is when it drops to 35. I cannot confirm that, but essentially just her right click is less effective at long range. And then same thing here, consecutive burst fire use time has been increased from 0.33 to 0.45 seconds, meaning that in those situations, all the clips that you've seen of 5 people just running into garage on Haven while Jett's sitting there, she can't just sit there and right click over and over again and kill each person who walks in with one little right click. There's maybe more of a delay in there. And then finally, the burst fire headshot multiplier has been reduced from ×3 to ×2. So essentially, a headshot with the burst fire only does 100 damage, not 150. So even if you hit a headshot, you still have to hit a body shot as well if they're full health. Overall, I know a lot of people have been wanting Jett to be nerfed from her E ability and her dash because they feel that the dash is too powerful. I think that it is extremely powerful. However, I think that this is a really good way to make her less effective on save rounds and add more of a skill gap where you do have to use her left click more than her right click to get consistent kills. Then we go down to the Viper buff, and so her fuel to start at 100 instead of 50. I don't really think this makes much of a difference because the first 30 seconds of a game isn't going to affect how good a Viper is. I think they're trying to make these really small changes to Viper over and over again to make her better and slowly make her viable. I think this is just another one of them. This buff by itself does pretty much absolutely nothing, but it's just like a little step in the right direction. And then this one is actually pretty good. The snake bite has now added lingering effects that last from 2 seconds after leaving the acid. Viper's move speed is now also doubled when casting her ultimate. She can also equip her weapon faster after casting Viper's Pit. So the snake bite lingering effect is nice. They did the same thing with a couple of her other abilities as well, I believe, in the last patch. And then move speed doubled when casting her ultimate. That's a real small thing, but I mean, I guess it's just another little small buff, and being able to pull out her weapon faster after putting down her ult. Also nice, just little things. I don't think that this means that Viper's a great agent now. These are 3 very small changes, but they they make her a little more useful. Then Reyna, this one I think really doesn't even do anything. Reyna's Empress ultimate has now been nerfed with its fire rate bonus decreased from 25% to 15%. I don't think this makes much of a difference at all. The reason that people use Reyna is not because her ultimate is amazing. They use Reyna because the ability to overheal and E out of positions and go invisible. I don't think that this will change her pick rate at all. It's just a small little nerf to make her a little less viable, which I like. Brimstone, same thing, but in reverse with Reyna. Brimstone received some minor buffs to the stem beacon. Fire rate bonus increased from 10% to 15%. That puts it in line with Reyna's ultimate, so they both have the same rate of fire change, 15%. That's good. Makes his stem beacon a little more useful, and I like that. Again, not going to make that much of a difference. I'd say the Viper, the Reyna, and the Brimstone, and the Omen, which I haven't gotten to yet, all of these changes are very small. They will not do anything for the agents. The pick rates probably will not change at all. The only one that you'll see a pick rate change for is Jett. And because of Jett's changes, I feel like her pick rate will slowly start to go down a little bit. I don't think it's going to be much. You're still going to see a lot of Jett. She's still an S tier agent in most people's eyes, but it is slowly going down, which is good. And then Omen reworked Paranoia to let players see his hitbox better. This could make it easier to dodge. This really doesn't make a difference. I have almost completely ignored the Omen one. I don't think this is going to change Omen at all. Then the big change that everyone's talking about, price of the operator changed from 4,500 to 5,000. Now, if you have your operator Jett main on your team, I don't think that this does anything to that particular agent, right? You still have an operator. And I think the biggest thing that this does is it makes it a little harder to save up, right? So if you're trying to save up to buy an operator, and it's a close game and you're trying to save up to get that operator, maybe now on that save round you don't buy a sheriff, right? Now you have to run with a classic, that way you can save to get that operator. Or on a force buy round, you don't force buy because you need to save up to get that operator. The big change that I see, the 4,500 to 5,000, is teams in comp, not really in Pro League, but teams in comp that will run 2, 3, sometimes even 4 ops, right? If you're running 2 ops, that's 9,000. Let's say yesterday, right? Yesterday, 2 ops is going to cost you 9,000, and now it's going to cost you 10,000. So it's a small little bump, and it's just going to keep going up. Now, if you want to triple op on your team, you're spending 15,000 credits to have those 3 ops. It's a small change, but I think it's a decent one. I don't have anything against it. Decreased scope movement speed from 76 to 72. Adjusted dead zone from 30% movement to 50% movement, which means become inaccurate sooner and longer to become accurate. Fire rate changed from 0.75 to 0.6. I think that this is a really good one, so you can't constantly pop off shots. And then a reduced instant equip time from 0.3 to 0.5. There's a whole explanation about all this, about it being too effective and being used too offensively, and it's hard to push them off the angles. This operator change, I hope, will really, really decrease the amount of operators that you see in competitive play. And I'm sure you've been there. There will be some games where the other team wins purely because they use, the op crutch. They just buy 2, 3 ops and just hold angles 24/7. And if your team isn't coordinated enough, it makes it really hard to push through. I don't think that's going to change though, right? The operator is still the operator. It's still a one-shot kill. Oh, one thing that's not in here that I don't see, I saw on a different website that the leg shot was dropped from 127 to 120 damage, but I don't think that makes much of a difference. But in any case, I don't see the operator changing a whole lot. Like it looks like a bunch of changes, right? There's like 5 things right here changing about the operator. That seems crazy. But I think overall, it's going to make a noticeable difference. But once people get used to it, it's not going to be all that bad. And it's still going to be a viable weapon that a lot of people use. I just think that the amount of operators that you see will probably decrease a little bit, which is good, because I would rather see more Phantoms and Vandals than more operators. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and y'all take it easy.